Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody today? Hope we're doing well. Oh, it's so rainy here and gray clouds. Ugh. It's not nice. But today we're going to do the grapes, and I've been putting it off because I keep trying different stitches because I want them to be raised up and round, and I didn't want to just use satin stitch. So I thought we would use this as a learning opportunity to do the padded satin stitch again, but for each of these. And we can have a go with all of the different kinds of padding. Like I told you, sorry, I thought I had a bird. I didn't want to do it in the, like I told you for the acorns. So for the acorns, we did a chain stitch. So we can try a split stitch. We can try other direction satin stitch. We can try a seed stitch, chain stitch, detached chain stitch. I just figured we could have a go and try a lot of them because a couple of people said that they didn't like doing the chain stitch for the padding. And I thought, do you know what? There's lots of other ways to do it. So we might as well give it a go. So I want all of my final satin stitch, just like the dark brown on the top, the final satin stitch to be up and down like this. Okay, so vertical. So all of my padded stitches are always going to be horizontal. So have a think of that. I'm just going to put this out there. Obviously, if you do not want to do a padded satin stitch, you could do a regular satin stitch. You could do any of the other stitches that we've learned so far. I just thought this would be quite fun to just like have a go and play, you know, for a little bit, because at the end, they're all going to be covered with your satin stitch anyways. So they're all going to look like grapes. So let's get started. Good morning, everyone. I love it when you guys say good morning to each other. It's so sweet. So let's just bang out a couple different ones. And yeah, we'll see. So the first one I'm going to do is the seed stitch. And the seed stitch is, I've already told you for this one, but it's just random straight stitches that go in all different directions. And I'm going to use 6 strands for this one because I know the seed stitch has a bit of space in between. So seed stitch is quite nice as a texture, like if you wanted to add a bit of a pizzazz to something, you know, just to add a little bit of hey. And you fill the whole shape at one time. So there's no, like, you know how I said that we're going to put all of our padded stitches horizontal? None of that. That doesn't really apply to this one. And normally with seed stitch, they don't actually touch. So there is space between, and that's why I'm doing all 6 strands with the purple. And it's the only purple we have. I'll see the color number though. It's star 100. Or 100 star. I think it's star 100. So yeah, I thought it could be like a cute little sampler. You know? Us doing all the stitches. And again, if you don't feel like trying different ones, that's okay too. If you're like, I already know what works for me, or I don't want to do a padded satin stitch because you have to stitch it twice and I don't want to do that, that's totally fine. You don't have to, I promise. I just thought, since it's a free stitch along, we might as well get into a couple different ones. Yeah? So the other thing that you could do is just a regular satin stitch, but in the opposite direction. So like I said, we want to have all of our final satin stitches straight up and down. I could probably do another one with stem stitch. I'll do another one with this. And then maybe you can like tell the two apart or something. But yeah, another way is to just do satin stitch, but in the opposite direction. So you'll end up with a full circle of satin stitch horizontal, and then another full circle of satin stitch vertical. So if you're just coming on, we're just doing a padded satin stitch again. I'll probably do 3 or 4 strands over the top of all of these as a final satin stitch. And then, yeah, we're just seeing which padding you like the best, you know? I always think seed stitch is a little bit tricky because they're just meant to go in all different directions. Like, there's no actual, like, oh, you should do it this way. So here is the satin stitch for padding. Good morning, Hannah. Good morning, everyone. I love it. So you can already tell this one's going to be a bit more humped up than all the rest of them, yeah? Because 1, I'm using 6 strands, and 2, I've covered the entire thing. But we'll just see. We'll see what it's like, you know? So we can do maybe another one over here. Just try the different paddings. I wouldn't do anything like a fishbone stitch or anything like that, because that's more of a stitch that you do at the very end, like not the very end, but you do it for like the end result, if that makes any sense. It's not really something that you can just bang out and like put underneath something else. Like you use that stitch because it's so beautiful when you finish. Okay, so we can do some detached chain stitches if you want to. And again, I'm using all 6 strands. I've just got 3 strands here, and I fold it in half. Oops. I was meant to go the other way, wasn't I? It'll be okay. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Because these ones are detached chain stitches. They kind of can go every other way anyway, you know? Kind of like the seed stitch, any way you want to. And the amount of padding can also, or the amount of strands for your padding can also go, it can go either way. I'm using 6 because I want them to be quite filled and quite humped up. But if you want them to be quite flat, then you can use 3, or you can just omit the padding altogether and just use the satin stitch. So that's a detached chain stitch. You can do a split stitch if you want to, although it's so small. But I feel like these are the most common that I've seen. Chain stitch, split stitch, seed stitch, or regular satin stitch. So I'll finish this one, this split stitch center, middle, and then I'll fill in these 6. And then you can see which one looks the best for you. I was working yesterday on the Cornucopia because I had a really good idea for it, and I don't think it's gonna work. Gutted. But I might show you anyways. We'll see. I like to do interesting things, you know? Keep it fun. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to get 3 strands and fill the top of this with my final, oops, my fingernails just come off. It's because I did the floor on Saturday and I was a little bit hard on them. So now you've got one fingernail with no fingernail polish on it. Isn't that cute? So this is 3 strands. I kind of want one more. So it's like really humped, you know? So it's like quite. Maybe I'll just do 6 strands again. I'll just do 6 strands again. And then you can see how they really get quite far off the fabric. But I would probably use 4. Let's have a look. So this is kind of like a sampler of all of the stitches that we've learned. Well, not all of them, some of them, used as the padding for the padded satin stitch. So I know I've said it before, but you can really use any amount of stitches, or sorry, threads for the top of the padded satin stitch. You just might have to do, like if you have 3 strands, you can go over it a couple times and it'd be fine. If you have 6 strands, you can probably get away with doing one row, you know what I mean? Before you're like, ooh, this is starting to look really chunky. So this is the seed stitch one. 6 strands and 6 strands. And I did have 3 strands and fold it in half. So sometimes that affects how it looks too, because it's a little bit less twisted together, if that makes any sense. Okay, so we've got one done. Let's do the bottom one. This one was a satin stitch, just horizontal instead of vertical. I've been looking forward to doing the grapes. I was trying to do something that was like make it look like a round stitch, you know? But first I thought maybe like some woven wagon wheels, but it did not look right. It looked like a bunch of flowers. And I thought, we can't have that. They really do need to look round. like circular. Like you can eat them. And there were some other stitches. But in the end I was like, do you know what? This one right here would be perfect because it's going to make them really pop up off the fabric. I'm going to make all my top stitches go the same way, yeah. Obviously, you can make them different directions if you want to. I know, do you remember when we did the rocks and we did the padded satin stitch for the rocks? Some of them looked really good, all the same way. But some of them, when you change the direction, it kind of made a bigger impact. So what you could also do is put 1 or 2 strands of a different color in with your purple and make it almost look like, you know, kind of like we did with the rocks. Completely forgot about the rocks, actually. So you just said it. But all mine are going to go the same way. Yeah, yesterday we went into town and I got some more fabric so I can finally send the kits out. And then we went to go look for some cardigans and I did find some. So that's exciting. And then we went to, just had like a little walk around, you know. I think mine are going to look square and not round. So when you do the outside satin stitch, you just need to pay more attention to the outside line and follow that. And you can fix a lot of that with your top satin stitch too. So just because in your padded part, I never know what to do that. Your under stitches, underlay. So just because in your under part that you stitched, maybe they look a little bit square, just concentrate a little bit more on making the top stitches. What is this? The top stitches a bit more round. Following the outline there. Sometimes it helps to do one side then the other side as well, like, because I tend to do one down the middle and then do the left and then the right. But some people like to do one down the middle and then one stitch on the left, one stitch on the right, one stitch on the left, one stitch on the right. And they tend to make it a little bit more symmetrical that way. But the biggest thing is the middle is going to be almost the same length stitches, and then as you get to the sides, they're just going to be a little bit smaller. So you just want to make them a little bit shorter to make sure that they look round. So this one was detached chain stitch, and I just put them like any kind of direction. Let's have a look here. And you want to really cover those up. So you really don't want to see any of your padded stitches. Oh, I need to think of a name for that. Your under stitches. You really don't want to see any of those peeking out the side. So even if you have to do a little small one on each side. So this is really good practice for satin stitch. Oh no, I lost some. Just let me get like one or two more and then we'll start again. Yeah. What is that? I've got one that's just a little bit shorter somewhere. There we go. Behave. Padding. Yes. I never know what to call it. Like the padding stitches, right? Or like the under stitches, or... It's just typical me, like calling everything what they're not supposed to be called. Oh dear. But yeah, I wanted to do a, like the woven wagon wheel rows. Don't want to see your underlayer peeking out. That's very true. It's like this is like the underwear of the padded satin stitch, you know? You guys crack me up. Oh my gosh. But they really do make them look 3D. You know what I mean? And like really like humped up. So if you look on the from the side, they genuinely are really humped up. So I did 6 strands for all of the padding for the underwear, and then 6 strands again on the top. So you do have, you know, a good nice hump there. Okay, so this one here I think was also, oh gosh, satin stitch. And then let's just grab some new thread for the last one here. I think just padding is fine. Yeah. Not me getting carried away. Hannah says, I love to see the different dimensions from the side. And yeah, you can totally see which ones kind of are more raised up off the fabric than the other ones. Even like these ones here, they have a bit more texture to them, whereas this here, we'll go from this way. I just like how humped up they are, you know? I think they're going to look really good when they're finished. Okay, so on details day, so the last things that we have to do, tomorrow is going to be the Cornucopia, and I'll speak to you just in a minute about that. I'll speak with you in a second. Doesn't that bring back some like bad memories? I've just got one more here that I would like to do. But yeah, I'll go over that in a second, the Cornucopia, because there's going to be a couple different ways that we do it. There we go. And then this is finally the split stitch one. That's the last one we did. So you can kind of see which one you like the best and which one you think adds the most hump, if that makes any sense. I feel like it's the detached chain stitch one, actually. That one's quite round and quite like raised up off the fabric. But yeah, anyways, so with the Cornucopia, we'll do that tomorrow, and I said I'll speak with you in a minute about that. And then we have a details day, and on details day, we'll kind of go around and do all the things that we haven't stitched yet. And I don't mean like you're not caught up. I mean the actual things that we didn't stitch, like the stems, like the French knots in the middle. So we'll go over all of those things on Thursday. And then Friday will be how to close up your hoop, etc., etc. So just a reminder about tomorrow. And that's, I will not be here at 10, okay? And I'll put a reminder in my stories tomorrow too, and this evening. But I won't be here at 10 because they're going to measure my belly. Isn't that exciting? But yeah, we've got baby appointment. And then Friday is the same. We've got baby appointment. So I'll try and get it done like when I get back, you know, to do the video. Yeah, I really feel like the seed stitch ones, okay, the seed stitch ones are definitely more flat. So this one, the middle one, and this one over here, definitely more flat. These two here were the satin stitch in the opposite direction, and they look all right. And this one was the detached chain stitch underneath. I could do chain stitch, but you'd only get like 4. So I just did the detached ones. And then this one here was the split stitch. So actually, I probably would not do seed stitch again because it doesn't give you that big of a nice round hump like that. I would probably do either the detached chain stitch or just a plain satin stitch. But it does look nice. Yes, that's what Hannah just said. She goes, I think that the mix looks good. Because if you think about it, if you're going to try and make it look like real grapes, they all don't look the same. One, okay, they're not all uniform in color or shape. So if you have ones that are a little bit longer and skinny or a little bit more plump and juicy, then that's fine, totally fine. Don't worry about that. Yeah, but it just depends on what you like. And I know I say that a lot, but it really does. So when you're learning embroidery, it's always good to have a look at what the teacher or instructor or the kit or whatever is telling you to do. Learn it and then think, do I like that? Do I enjoy doing that? Is that how I want it to look? Do I want it to look different? I don't know. Good morning, Nem. You know, it's all about you. Now I'm singing the Mcfly Song. I didn't do a very good job on the outline of this one. I think a lot of people are in the States and they don't know Mcfly. Me too. Okay, good. I was like, I feel like this has gone over everyone's head. But we always sing that song. I'm not going to sing it. I'm not a good singer. But yeah, I do like it. We just sing the chorus though. It's all about not messing with the stitches. Yeah. Yes. Love Mcfly. Oh. I'm glad you guys get it, because sometimes the things I say, I think, I bet no one gets that. I'm the only one over here being a weirdo. Oh, Susie said that she met the boys a few years ago. They seem so nice, you know? They like genuinely do seem like a nice bunch of men, I guess. How long have you been in the UK? Since September 2015. Yeah, it's like not super long, but like long. Do I need one more stitch here? I feel like I do. They went past me, but I did meet one of them, maybe at a soccer aid or something. Danny, maybe? I don't know any of their names, I'm not gonna lie. Only Tom. Because I follow him and his wife on Instagram. But I don't know any of the other people from Mcfly. I don't know any of their names. But they all seem very nice. So yeah, okay, so I said I would chat about the Cornucopia. One is called Dougie. He dated Ellie Goulding. Oh, I didn't know that. Long enough. How was soccer aid? I bet you that was quite fun. Okay, I told you guys to chat about the Cornucopia. So you know how you do the woven wagon wheel, and obviously if you're brand new to stitching, it's totally fine if you're like, nope, don't know that one. But normally when you do the woven wagon wheel, there's a couple different ways to do the actual stitch. So normally when you do the woven wagon wheel, you make your lines, your spokes, and then you go, you know, over and under each one. But there's a different way to do it that has like the same setup. And I thought maybe in the end it looks like a spider web. But I thought maybe that could work because it could highlight the lines as you're going, you know? If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's totally fine. Don't worry about it. I'll show it to you in just a moment. But I did a little sample, and I just don't know. I don't know if I want to subject you to that because it's a lot of like weaving around. And I feel like somebody will get mad at me. Let me see if I can find my embroidery book real quick. Because I think I put it in my trolley. Got like a ton of papers over here, like waiting to be filed and everything. And I had all my embroidery. Oh, there it is. Okay. Similar to the bag of flowers, kind of. So with this one, it looks like a spider web when you're done. Instead of doing the woven wagon wheel, of course it's not in this. Oh, here you go. It's the ribbed web. Looks like this. So normally with the woven wagon wheel, it looks like this, but you need to cover, like this is not correct. Okay, let's just be clear on that. If you have your spokes sticking out, I'm going to come after you. All right. That's a stitch for a different day. But this one, instead of just going over and under each of the spokes, you go around them. So you wrap the thread around it. Okay. So you go under under it, and then you wrap it around and go under the next one, and then you wrap it around. And it kind of looks like this when you're done. I just used scrap thread and only 3 strands. Oop, where are we? Here we go. So it looks like that, okay? So do you see how you wrap it around? Where is this? You wrap it around each of the spokes. So I just did like a couple little things. So it makes it so that your stitches here get wrapped completely. So you can't actually see that there's like a couple different ones, you know, because you need to do, okay, maybe we should do this then. People are saying, okay. I'll also show you, I also did one with just an outline with a whipped back stitch. Okay, so if you wanted to just do an outline and then fill in the, I don't know what that part is. I don't know what to call that. The woven edge of the basket. What am I like today? What's going on? Had a coffee, had my breakfast, did a bit of stitching, was chilled, came on here, and I feel like I'm like putting everyone to sleep. Can't say anything. But yeah, if you wanted to, you could totally just do a satin stitch all the way around, okay? Between each one. The opening, yes. I thought maybe, I kept thinking of a croissant. I don't know why. Because this toy looks like a croissant to me. So, a croissant. So yeah, so if you wanted to, you could totally just do a nice outline on the whole thing, okay? And then satin stitch in the whole thing. Like, that would look amazing, all right? But I was thinking, what else could we do? What else could we do? Like, we could do something else. Like, we could do something more fun. And I thought, well, why don't we do something like this? So I'm going to keep working on it and see how I feel about how it looks. The only tricky part is going to be once you get around to the end, sometimes you'll just have to end them. Do you know what I mean? So you're going to run out of room. So I've already done 3 or 4 stitches. That's all. Or passes around because it's just woven. And only 2 of them made it all the way. One of them made it to here and one of them made it to here. So you will have to just like end them when they end. So you might get down to like here and you'll only have like 3 to go. And so you'll go 1, 2, 3 and be done. Okay? Like this one right here, it might be 1, done. 1, done. So, oh, excuse me. So I'll finish this today and we'll see how it looks. And then tomorrow, definitely happening. Totally fine. Sorry. Oh, gosh. I just want to make it good for you guys. But also, I'm just one of those people that I don't want to teach satin stitch like every single time, you know? And I think for a stitch along, for some stitch alongs, you will use a lot of satin stitch. And I know for some stitch alongs, we have, like the fox last year, we used a lot of satin stitch for that one. I feel like it's inevitable. You're going to use it because it's such a versatile stitch. But, and you might think, well, it's just a free stitch along. So just do an easy stitch that everyone can do. Everyone can do it. Everyone can do all of them. You might not nail it the first time. It might not be as good as someone who's been stitching for 10 years, but you can do it. You know? Do you know what I'm saying? Mel's just done both of her horns based on that quick tutorial. I can tell. Oh, we love you, Mel. That's so funny. She's so quick at stitching. I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she's so quick. Genuinely. Back to the grapes though, because these look so good. Like better than I, definitely better than I thought. What's happening here? Okay. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. Mel, retired. Yeah. No, but you genuinely do stitch fast. Like, not just that you have time. It's that you really are, like, really quick at stitching. Like, I have time to stitch, too. And I feel like I'm pretty quick, but probably not as quick as I would be if I wasn't talking the entire time. But still, I always feel like I'm pretty quick. But I don't know how. You must have, like, super, super speed. You know? Super speed stitching. All right, well, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for me. I've given you the schedule for the rest of the week. Remember, tomorrow, I'm not going to be here at 10. I will remind you in the morning and then this evening as well. And I'll speak with David and see if he wants to do anything tomorrow after the appointment. Because it's at a strange time. I feel like I'm going to get home and I'm going to be like, let's have lunch. Which is why I was thinking a little bit later. But I'll see, because sometimes when we're out, he'll be like, let's go get lunch. I'm like, okay. Like, if we're already out and we don't have to leave again, we could just eat out. Behave. Nem says he's very slow because he obsesses over every stitch. Oh, you gotta drop that. Don't do that. Because he's going away until Sunday, so probably won't have any time to stitch till November now. Well, November is Monday, so it's already November. Can you believe it? I cannot believe it. So we've got the pattern of the month coming. I need to show you the November, December stick and stitch. Whoops. Yeah, have fun though. I hope you have a good time wherever you're going. So yeah, we've got to get stuff going. And I might be working with another local business to do some fun kits. So I'm really excited about that. And that will be cool. So I hope she sends me the samples soon. I've just done the sideways satin on these just to like finish it up. Oh, he's going to Durham to spend Halloween with his 6-year-old niece. We're going to Adventure Valley. Oh, that's so fun. My niece is coming over today. I think we're going to carve pumpkins. But last year we bought a pumpkin carving kit and sent it home with her. And I have a feeling that they don't know where it is anymore. I should have just kept it. But yeah, I think we're going to do that today. So that should be fun. All right, this is probably the last stitch. No. Oh, gosh. Not going to ruin my day. So don't forget to do the second layer of satin stitch over top. Get her to jump on your couch for a little bit. Actually, I think I'm going to take the cushions off and have her jump on just the cushions. I'm not trying to like break the sofa bed part, you know, but I'm about to be like, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you just jump on my cushions a little bit? Okay, so let's zoom out and see what we've got. Obviously, oh gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Obviously, I'm not finished with like anything. I'll try to get it done by Friday. So at least we know, or maybe Thursday, because then at least we'll know what we actually have to do still. Do you know what I mean? It should just be French knots for this, French knots for filling if you want to fill, and the stems. And then if you'd like to add some little, you know, jazzy things, which I'll show you on Thursday, you can add those too. And I mean these little like twig things like that, but also some other little filler things that I like to add sometimes if I just feel like an area is too empty. Okay, so like here, like maybe it could have been a little bit closer, you know, but I'll show you all of those things on Thursday as well. So tomorrow we've got the Cornucopia. We'll see what happens. I think it'll be fun. But yeah, don't forget to tag me at the Marmy Fox and Anchor Crafting at Anchor Crafting. And use Anchor Crafts, the Marmy Fox SAL and Anchor Crafting for your hashtags. They're looking so good. I'm just so proud of everyone. You have no idea. I'm so proud. I'm just so proud. But yeah, enjoy your Tuesday. And yeah, I'll talk with you guys later, all right?